All right, so we are here again, and as we indicated earlier in our first update, this is a very sad news. The death of Nigerian singer Osinachi Nwachukwu is have hit the airwaves, and she's dead. We can confirm it on authority. But an issue surrounding the woman's death is so remarkable and so sad. And what we are learning currently is that this death of the woman is not just something we should rule as a natural death. In fact, people are saying, close relatives are saying that this is a pure murder, a homicide, and the person who should be blamed for it is none person or none other than the husband.
The husband.
This is so sad. This is so sad.
Yeah, according to the information being trending online right now, and what I'm getting, the relative said what the doctors are saying about the woman that she died out of throat cancer is nothing but lies.
So it's a fabricated lie.
Yes, they said the woman died out of domestic abuse.
Domestic abuse.
Yes.
That's a very tough way. Now, before then, there's a report coming from BBC. I think it's on the screens. So what we are learning, as you guys can see on the screen, you also have the reports per preview on you with you. So what we are learning currently from BBC indicates that this particular woman, the husband have been arrested. What we are learning is that the husband of this particular Nigerian musician who is dead currently, the husband have been arrested. So let's read details. As you guys can see, it's being shown to you on the screens. What we have is Osinachi Nwachukwu, Nigerian gospel singer's husband, arrested over death. And this is coming from BBC News. So it tells you that there's a little bit or more authenticity in regards to this particular reportage. Now, let's read more about it, and then we'll be showing you the preview of whatever is happening on the screen, so that you guys can follow along, and we can give you more details as to what is really happening. We just wanted to show you some sort of evidence. So what we have here is police have arrested the husband of a top Nigerian gospel musician or singing star Osinachi Nwachukwu after she died on Friday in Abuja, or in an Abuja hospital. Initial reports said 42-year-old had been sick with throat cancer, but her family denied that, alleging she had been a victim of domestic abuse. So what you were telling us earlier is exactly what the police investigation is pointing to.
Yes. So you can really tell the family is saying a part or a truth, or there's a difference from what the doctors are saying, that she died out of throat cancer. And then the police, I would say, are basing their evidence or their reports on what the children said.
What the children of the late singer, what are they saying? What are the children saying?
Per the information or what the children are saying, they said their father even abused them.
Abused the children?
Yes. So they're even
which kind of God. Abuse is what was
domestic abuse?
Domestic abuse.
Yes, as we know, and it constitutes a lot. It can be maybe he not giving them money to buy food, beating them or caning them.
With all due respect, was the man sane? Like, was he well?
He's well.
Or he's a drunkard, or what's happening?
There's nothing there's no report that tells the man the man is mentally
unstable.
Okay. Everything tells he's correct.
All right.
That's per the reports coming out.
So now new reports emerging, kind of tallies with what the police is saying. So, the woman was abused per the family, and also the children were abused. So which kind of abuse? Before then, let's continue to read. We'll be giving people more updates. So what we are seeing on the screens again, I'm continuing to read where I left off. It said Osinachi Nwachukwu was one of Nigeria's most popular gospel artists with a voice described as angelic. She featured on the 2017 hit gospel song Ekwueme. So that song came out 2017. Wow, yes. I thought the song was just a recent hit, because I recently last year or so, and as I posting it
actually came out in 2017, but her part of the song made it trend, and it's still trending. Because if you listen to her part of the song, and then you are a kind of person or you're a spiritual person, and you follow her words and how she sang the song, it will definitely carry your spirit away. Okay. And then that's still making the song trend. So you can really tell that
song has 74 million views on YouTube. Of
course.
That is very much.
74 billion.
No, million. That That is 6 zeros, million. So what it tells you that, and what I'm learning is that TikTok also played a very vital role in this trend.
Yeah,
people are using it for challenges and stuff.
Yeah, for now, if you want the best social media app or to advertise your products or your services or anything, TikTok is the best place.
Okay, so let's move on. So she featured in 2017 hit gospel song Ekwueme, which has currently at that time of writing, according to YouTube, 71 million YouTube views. Now, what this BBC article is saying is that, I'm continuing to read, many Nigerians, especially Christians, have reacted with sorrow and anger to the news of her death. Some have gone online to urge religious leaders not to advise church members to stay in abusive relationships. Domestic violence has also been trending on social media. We'll move on in regards to this article. There's more piece to it, but I think this goes a long way to open our eyes, or perhaps to crack the whip on what we are not seeing. Currently in Ghana, what we know last year is that over 550,000 divorced so far. And that was huge.
Really?
And let me be honest, one of the people we need to blame for this whole disaster in marriage is the church. There's a particular church in Ghana, I will not mention the name. When you go to the church, they'll find a partner for you at the church. You know the church, right?
Yes. But then we will mention its name.
Yeah, we will not mention the name. What I say, there's L there, there's E there, we will not mention it. But this church is there, and I think it's very much bad because immediately I've been to the church myself. The day I went, they look at me, okay, he's a tall guy, he's a dark guy. Okay, what else? He's not married. He's using Toyota Vets. His income is around 900 cedis a month. What can we get this man? So they were looking for my perfect fit. I didn't go back again. But apparently, if I had gone to the church and they had given me a lady, they would tell you that for the sake of fornication, you need to marry. But I think the problem here is that when these things do happen, they don't give the couple time to study themselves. Within few months, they marry them and they think they are doing something which is cool. It only goes a long way to bring divorce, and that is what we are seeing. Yes. Religious imprisonment, or perhaps religious imprisonment is in play here. Yeah, that's what we are seeing.
And it's not only one church here in Ghana. There are many churches here in Ghana that supports that part, that where you enter a church or you're a member of the church, definitely have to marry from that church, because they have this, that when you marry outside the church, definitely the man or woman you got married to wouldn't be a member of the church. So meaning he or she has to take you out of the church.
So what we are seeing is religious incarnation or indoctrination, and also we are seeing religious perhaps slavery, mental slavery.
Yes.
And that is very bad, because what is happening is that if everything is centered on the church, when your husband beats you, you go and report to the pastor. And the pastor obviously will not call for your divorce. He will go according to the Bible, respect your husband. Your husband will forgive you. Tell the man, buy something for the lady. Meanwhile, and it's a particular trend. We have ladies who have been abused in relationship. It is very bad. It is very, very, very bad. And I don't think it's setting a very good precedent for us. Now, let's move on in regards to this particular article. Now, what we are having here is the popular church that previously employed Nwachukwu as a lead singer, Dunamis International Gospel Center, has not yet commented on her death, but says it will soon. So the church that the lady attends, that's the Dunamis
International Gospel Center,
International Gospel Church or Center, they have not yet commented. But what we know is that the husband is also from the same church. So are we going to see some sort of a revolution or some sort of backing? Because it's very normal that a church is going to back the husband and say, in quotes, let's solve the issue at home.
I'm not
Obviously,
sure.
If the man is a pastor of this same church, I don't think they'll bring out a statement to denounce their church member. It won't happen. African men or African church will never do that. Should we see that, or is there any reason we should?
But in this case, it's a dead case now. The woman is dead. And then there's no way they shouldn't back the husband because he is a church or he's a pastor of that same church. even if you do that, I'm not sure the woman's soul will even rest, because she has been abused and she has left 4 kids, to be precise. She has left 4 kids. Who will take care of those children? So you, the pastor, or let me say the members of the church, saying because the husband is from the church, okay, so let's back him and then take the case out of court and then bring it home to come and solve it. I don't think it's really a good thing.
It's really a good thing. Now, there's one interesting thing here. Let's see what we have here. It says, I think we need to highlight this. So let's try and highlight this particular part, because I want people to pay attention critically to this particular thing, and at the end of the day, they need to know what is really happening. I, for once, or always don't support abuse on women. I personally think whenever a woman is going overboard, what we as men we can do is, trust me, just leave the relationship. I'm saying this because it's better to leave a relationship which is very toxic, that can get you behind bars, than stay there and perhaps before you realize you've killed your wife and you are behind bars. And there are billions of women out there. So if your woman or your wife is fooling, I don't think you should sit there and be the victim and beat her. No, just divorce her. Now,
you shouldn't say it only based, or you shouldn't say it just on the guy's motion or that, because there are also there are good ladies out there who are being beaten by their husbands. Their husbands are no good, but yet they want to just stay in the marriage based
why
on
do you want to stay in their marriage?
So I also believe women, if your husband is treating you bad, is abusing you, you should also leave the marriage.
You should also leave. But you see, the stigma in regards to women is very high.
Stigmatization shouldn't come here.
No, because if
your life is at stake.
If a woman is, you see, women have more to lose, okay, when they leave their marriage. I'm not saying this based on perhaps a gender bias statement or something, but look at this very critically. The lady has given birth. Perhaps she's in a menopause, okay? She has 3 children. Who born one cry and pay? Born one cry and pay. Not born 3. What I'm trying to say is that a woman with 1 child is even an issue. Okay, because if you take a woman with 1 child to your house and you want to marry her, and they ask you, okay, she has a child, there will be questions unless the man is stand firm and take the lady. What about born 3? Yeah. So women tend to lose more, but a man, regardless, can marry 5 or so. So that whole stigma thing is really what is keeping women in that relationship. So men can take the initiative, okay, because sometimes women to go overboard. If the woman is going overboard, I don't think you should sit down there and tolerate the woman. If you talk to her, she's not understanding you. I don't think you should sit down and tolerate the woman and beat her. I'm saying this because a study which was recently conducted in the US from psychologists and scientists indicates that 99% of men, okay, they kind of act before they think. Listen to the speech. They act before they think. That is why you see a mate and a passenger fighting over 20 pesos. They will fight. They'll bring out all the blows. In fact, it will be messy. And you go and ask what happened. The change, the passenger will tell you the fare is 1 cedi, 80 pesos, but he was charging me 2 cedi. 20 pesos. Nipa akon. Ya bob bros me nipa nima hono. 20 pesos. Now, what it tells you is that men, we react temporarily, like with our temper. We act. And for women, the study also came out that 90% or 99% of women speak. Not all of them, but most women usually speak without thinking. So you see, in a relationship, women, their power is their voice.
Okay.
Men, the power is our strength. I can't insult a lady back to back. I say one, the lady says 1,000. So the next thing is slap. That is why I'm saying that if the lady is being verbally abusive or hostile towards the man, the best thing for you to do is not to sustain it or try to say, I'm beating her to change. That is abuse. Leave the marriage. In the same way too, if a woman, you think the marriage is unbearable, you are being abused, you are being tortured, leave the goddamn marriage now.
Simple as short.
Leave the marriage. And it's only in Africa that we kind of burden people with marriage. If you don't marry,
that mentality should even be taken out.
It should be. It should be kicked out.
Because I don't see the reason why when you are not married at the age of 30, you should be pressured to go and get married.
Yeah, I understand menopause is near and all of that, but trust me, the Bible even said it. not all of us were born. If you read my Jesus, some people were born Enochs. Enochs are people who can give birth. And recently, I phoned a friend who got married 2 years ago. So I called him. We're talking. I said it's been a long time, and I asked him, "Have wifey? Have you welcomed any child?" That perhaps I'm not. No. And the guy started. He started like explaining. He felt like he owed me an explanation. Because of the situation at hand, the economy, and my wife was doing her masters, and I said, bro, you don't have to explain anything. See, you can choose not to give birth. I support you. I'm not that kind of person who makes it mandatory for couples to. So I felt bad because I'm just looking at the number of people who have called them to ask them why have they not given birth, and maybe they might be having perhaps child issues.
That's the mentality of
and
Africans,
that is very bad.
They think the moment you get married,
the next thing is give birth.
3-4 months, you should get pregnant, and after getting pregnant, 1 year, 2 years, you should give birth. So after you get married, and let's say a year or two, they see no child, or they see your wife.
Even if they see a child, they ask you, "Dabe na be wunechi." Haven't you heard that?
Yes.
Hey, now
it's really bringing Africans down.
Yeah.
It's really disturbing a lot of marriages in Ghana and destroying a lot of homes.
But let's read this particular thing. It says the church shared a short video to the BBC that said it taught its congregation that it is better to be single and alive than to die in an abusive marriage.
So meaning the church were really aware of what was happening between Osinachi.
Why are they saying this now? Because according to the church, it seems like the church is trying to distance themselves from the reality now. The reality is that perhaps they say in every woman there's an iota of truth. So
yes,
there's an iota of truth in here. So this response from the church,
really
does it say that the woman was all along being abused? The church knew about it. They condoned it. They prayed about it. They refused to take action.
That's it.
And now the woman is dead.
Dead.
Do you think the church should be held accountable? Or perhaps it's somebody's marriage issue.
Yeah, you can't just.
But this abuse, this is not in somebody's marriage issue. The guy is still wearing a clock that he's a man of God at the church. So by now he should be just taken off immediately.
It could be that the church advised the woman to stay out of the marriage or to leave the marriage.
Are you sure they will advise that our lead singer is now divorced? Our lead singer will have 4 children.
For Christ's sake, she's being abused.
So
I'm not sure it was just once. I'm sure it was something which continued.
Listen, the church will share numerous videos. This could be videos 10 years, and it would depend on the theme of the preaching as at that time. Perhaps the theme as at that time during the whole sermon was marriage and abuse. So if they say it's better to leave abusive marriage rather than be in it, it could have been a youth meeting with perhaps up and coming marriage elects. But so it will not be directed to the woman. Perhaps the woman will not be there to. She's a singer. She goes to different churches. So what's the probability that the woman was there?
She's a lead singer.
She's a lead singer.
Not just a singer.
Yeah, last time I checked, Christian Love was also a lead singer. Is also a lead singer, but she also performs at other churches. Diana Hamilton.
But mostly they are in their church.
Not all the time. So what's the probability that message was directed to the woman? I think the church is part to be blamed, and I think all of these things goes a long way to tell us the societal pressure on the sleeves of young people, the pressure that young people should marry, the pressure that young people should be in a relationship, and there's so much toxicity in all of these things. People are suffering, and we can't say anything about it.
I don't even see
it's
why
so sad.
Youth of today, just especially the females, the moment they enter university, or they say they are done with their secondary or senior high, the next thing that comes to mind is marriage.
I think one of the key things here, like I've met ladies, they go like, okay, I want to marry. Then I ask them a simple question: why do you want to marry? They go like, okay, you can take care of me. They go like, I'm too old. They go like, very soon I'll get menopause. They go like, I want to have kids. All these things are secondary things. If you don't give a man a reason, I'm not saying men should, like, women should propose to men, but if a woman says she wants to marry, she's just communicating something to you that get up and take action. But as a man, you need to know what you are going in for. So the big question is this: fine, you are entering into the marriage. You, the woman, you want to be married, or you want to let the man marry you. Why do you want to marry? Do you have the balls, the synergy, the energy, the memory, the brains, the fortitude to be in that relationship, because marriage is not all that glossy. That is why we are having a lot of divorces. People married today, 6 months, they are divorced.
Yeah, they only look at the beautiful side of marriage. Let's say you're going to be married in a white way, or there's a white wedding.
Yeah.
The dresses there, the number of people that will come, the congregation and other stuff. But then they don't think about what's next after the marriage.
That one is just a day's thing.
Yes.
At the end of the day, when they are married, something can happen, and then
they don't think about that. That's why you see, after marriage, 3 to 6 months, then they get divorced.
They get divorced.
Yes, and then they don't really sit down to study each other. No,
that is just, and I think that there's more peer pressure, because the ladies I usually speak with, I ask them, okay, you want to marry, so what is motivating you to pinch your man that, hey, come and do knocking, come and see my parents, and they don't give any vivid analysis. And most importantly, what kills us is that she goes on a WhatsApp status and see people doing this bridal shower, then she comes, I want to do some. So they are being led, and women, amongst yourself, you have this kind of competition. That even when she's married, when she's talking to you, all you see is she flaunting the ring in your face. In your face. Like, hey,
the smallest
I'm married.
hang off, but
when they are beating them, they come and they hide the ring. You boom you. You want what? Well, also when you're flaunting the ring. So this is just sad. But regardless, I believe something should be done. I believe that action should be taken against this particular man. Investigation should be thoroughly done. And we also need to. So we are seeing all of these things, and we are taking the vital parts of all of this conversation. We are not talking about the vital part is the children. Now, the woman is dead. That makes the children an orphan.
Yes.
For now, with one parent. If this man is arrested and charged with homicide, who is going to take care of their children?
That's a big question now.
And trust me, nobody can take care of the children better. But the children are also saying that they are abused.
Happy, yeah, and then they are happy their father has been arrested because they were also abused. They were victims of domestic abuse.
It tells you that children indirectly pick clues from us.
Yes.
They were seeing whatever was going on, but
yes,
they were not happy and they couldn't say it. It's so sad. I don't think any woman should be abused. And personally, I don't condone that. I believe in any relationship, anytime, if you're in any relationship and you're listening to me, please, don't sit down and die. Life is too sweet. Go to Labadi Beach. Life is too sweet. If you get a salary and then you go and have some pizza, it's so nice. Don't live with one person who will turn you into a douchebag. Debbie, leave now. Leave now. Or die later. Or die soon. Please leave. I don't think women should be abused. Yes. God gave us strength as men to protect women, not to abuse them. We should learn from all of this. We'll give you guys more updates as all of these various events unfold.